College Assembly Center. We're ready to play basketball. As you look at the starting lineups for the Rebels, it's Johnson and Young and Butler up front, 6'7" and 6'10". Anthony and Hunt in the backcourt, 6'2" and 6'1". LSU is starting O'Neal at center, 7'1". The other 7-footer Roberts will not start today. Boudreau gets the call there with Sims. The backcourt, of course, includes Chris Jackson and a new youngster named Williamson that I think is going to be an outstanding basketball player before his career is done, and I think probably helps make Jackson better. Now, Dick Vitale, the keys for Las Vegas today are these.
Well, first of all, Johnson has to have the big game. Larry's got to dominate inside, especially with the loss of Stacey Augmon, Key. And then they have to control Roberts and O'Neal. We will see Roberts off the bench. I believe he's sending a message to him about work ethic, that he really has to lose some weight, get in better condition.
For Dale Brown's LSU Tigers?
Well, for them to win, Jackson must score what I call a solid 25. I mean by that, not going 5 for 23 and then a host of points on a free throw line. He's got to shoot well. And then they have to minimize the turnovers because UNLV likes to score in transition, Keith, off their defense. And here's the look at Dale Brown, one of the masterful motivators in college basketball.
The officials in today's ball game, as you see Dale's record, he's been here since 1972. They are out of the ACC. Richie Paparo, Larry Rose, and Stan Rote.
They're out of the ACC, except Paparo said to me, wait a minute, Dick, I represent the United States of America.
LSU is in the gold. Las Vegas is in the red, even though it is Super Bowl Sunday just down the road in New Orleans. The basketball arena at LSU is full.
Oh, forget about Elway in Montana. It's Jackson and Johnson. This is the real show, Keith. In the state of Louisiana, this is all the excitement.
And the ball in the air goes backcourt, picked up by Jackson.
I got a feeling he's going to turn it on today.
It was quiet yesterday in LSU's win over Florida. 13 minutes without a shot. Williamson missing. The rebound is outside and picked off by Anderson Hunt for Las Vegas.
Hunt gives it the scoring they need from the perimeter. Anthony's normally their ball handler.
Greg Anthony is the point guard for Las Vegas. It's been a spotty performance for him so far this year, but he's a man that can light it up too. The shot is missed inside by Butler, and here comes the Tigers.
They'd like Jackson to really go a little bit one-on-one when they're in transition.
Inside, looking for Shaquille O'Neal, and you got a tie. Ball, it'll go Las Vegas. The arrow pointing that way. And so the running Rebels, with that big 7'1", 17-year-old freshman in the middle, come away with a draw in the first effort to get the ball to it. Ball is stolen by Boudreau.
Starting roll, capitalizes on it. They love him here at the death goal. Good anticipation, stepped in the passing lane and made the good steal.
Anthony brings it up, looks inside at Butler. Hunt very good outside. Butler is at the foul line, back to Anthony, inside to Big Larry Johnson. Goaltending. Count it. It's a 2-2 ball game.
There he is, operating on the inside. Look at the pump fake. And then there comes O'Neal over. Anytime you put it directly in the lane like that, usually it's going to be a goaltending call.
Jackson for three.
I'll tell you, Steve, I look at his eyes, and I think he really feels it today.
Anthony tries to answer. Won't go down. Back iron. Rebounds outside. Barry Young. Corner Johnson.
A lot more excitement here than yesterday.
Barry Johnson tips it in.
That's a man, Keith. That's a man. M-A-N. Larry Johnson, Odessa Junior College Player of the Year. Oh, I like this. I feel the electricity already, Keith.
Moving pick. Called on Williamson.
You're not allowed to move. You have to be stationary and setting that screen. And there's a look at Park the Shark, Jerry Tarkanian.
Maurice Williamson's first foul. Anthony sets it up for Las Vegas. Anderson Hunt open for three. Short. Got a good bounce, but it still won't go down. Rebound Johnson.
Larry Johnson, no one blocking him out. Very active on the inside. No one laying a body on him to keep him away from the glass.
6 points for Larry. Shot is forced, won't go down. Ball loose, picked up finally. by Las Vegas.
That's what Vegas likes to do. Run, baby, run.
Johnson feeds it outside for Butler. There's O'Neal trying for the rebound. He's only 17 years old. He hasn't learned some of the basics of the game, like knocking people out of there, blocking out.
He's got great hands, quickness, plus some talent.
Williamson.
He is starting to come alive. Maurice Williamson.
7-6 for LSU as Butler travels and turns it over.
You know, Keith, what's amazing, you're not going to see too many colleges in America when you see a matchup with more talent than what we're looking at on the floor here today. Here's the 1-on-1, Jackson. Oh, what a screen.
Anthony almost steals the ball as they try to trap Jackson. Boudreau pumps it up, won't go down. Moving on the rebound, ahead to Anderson. Hunt.
Out of Detroit, Southwestern, great explosiveness in transition. That's the nature of the Vegas running attack.
Yeah, and I think Barry Young runs the floor very well. He handled that pass very well, too, for Las Vegas.
Barry's a real good shooter.
There's a whistle and there's a foul.
Vegas really trying to attack once the ball is thrown down to the inside. The philosophy of Dale Brown, what he's trying to get his players to do is Jerry is crying and moaning about the post foul. He really wants to stress in their half-court game, inside, outside. He wants Jackson, get it inside, they double up and kick it back out. There's the inside foul.
Sims is blocked. Beautiful block, and the Rebels come out with it. That previous foul was on Anderson Hunt.
Oh, excellent skip pass right over the top of the defense.
3 for Hunt.
Oh, what a pass by Young, throwing the ball right over the top of the defense.
Remember the days when the coach would break your arm for throwing a pass like that?
Yes.
It's common now.
Cross-court pass, they used to say wasn't any good.
Jackson pops it, won't go down.
Getting one shot. LSU.
Greg Anthony. He can't get the bounce. Rebound O'Neal.
No doubt about whose rebound that was.
11-7 Las Vegas by 4. Chris Jackson on the move against Anderson Hunt. Ball is blocked, the whistle and a foul. And it's on, I think, Butler.
He created the foul there with the little head fake again. What a difficult chore trying to check. There's the backdoor cut. Now watch the rotation over defensively. And what a block by Larry Johnson. Did he adjust after he was beaten on a backdoor cut?
Give Hunt the foul, his second, and Jackson will go to the line, shoot 2. Jackson 90% on the foul line. The rest of the LSU team, a rather weak 55%.
Well, when they lost that game to Georgia, he scored 45. In the last 7 minutes, Keith, they missed 10 one-on-ones in a row.
And it was here.
It was at home. They've had some impressive wins, though. They had a real shootout with Texas, who's a very good team, and beat them 124-113. And Jackson had 51, and Shaquille O'Neal had a triple-double. 19 points, 16 rebounds, and 10 block shots.
2-point lead, the run-in Rebels. Nevada, Las Vegas leading by 2. 8 of their 11 points have been scored in the paint, and here's why. Number 4.
I love the way he freezes the defensive player with that head fake, and he gets the goaltending call on Shaquille O'Neal. Now, on the other end, he plays both on the offensive end and defensive end. Here is Johnson with the great timing and the shot block. He's just a tremendous talent. If you talk about the top 10 players in the United States of America, you have to include the name Larry Johnson.
Johnson has 6 of the 8 points that have come out of the paint for Nevada, Las Vegas.
Well, he told me today, he said we all have to pick it up a notch playing without Stacey Augmon, a great defensive player.
Augmon, in case you haven't heard, this is his game to sit out under that telephone business where that's some unpaid bills. That's outside, and it is good for 3, and that makes it 14-9, Nevada, Las Vegas.
Barry Young with the three-point shot. That's his specialty. Shoot the stand-up jump shot. Vegas known for their pressure defense.
Rebels are now on a 12-4 run. Jackson has it knocked out of his hands. Good move by Greg Anthony.
What a great play that was. What an unbelievable play.
A little too high for Johnson, and LSU comes up with a turnover.
This is where he excels, in the open court.
Williamson, and Maurice can't get it, but Sims knocks it down.
Sims is one of those role players. He's a wide body, and I know you like all those wide bodies.
6'7", 250.
Looks like he can help Coach Archer's football team.
Inside Johnson.
Count it. Count it. He is so quick inside. Not only is he strong, he's very quick.
He's got 8 points. Half of the Rebels' total. 16-11. Rebels steal the ball.
2-on-1. Give it to Trailer. No, he goes right to the goal.
Got ahead of Chris Jackson and just simply outran him. The play was triggered, however, defensively by Greg Anthony.
Anthony has very, very quick hands.
7-point Rebel lead.
Anthony is really up to the challenge of playing Jackson.
Sims, too hard.
Sims, a 3-year starter, has 15-foot range, but they want him to be a role player. Rebound.
Johnson outside. Three-pointer.
What can he do, Keith? What can he do? When you talk about picking one of the best forwards in America, how could anyone not include Larry Johnson?
Dale Brown trailing by 10 at 21-11 calls timeout. UNLV now on a 19-6 run to lead by 10.
We take a look right here. Look at the left arm and how he holds off the defensive player. Larry Johnson trying to get post position. Watch him. Now we go here and watch the switch his arms and he holds him off, seals him, and now he releases and he's got inside position. That was a perfect clinic on how to post up for medium post play.
In 6 minutes and 20 seconds, Johnson has 11 points, 3 rebounds, has blocked the shot, and has 1 steal.
He did a great job posting. He has such ability.
Maurice Williamson against Hunt tries to peel him on a pick and does. Inside, Roberts, who has just come into the ball game for LSU. Shot is no good, and the Rebels won it again.
Roberts is a baby. Bob Lanier.
Hunt. In and out. And good high, solid rebound by Burnell Singleton for LSU. Out to Chris Jackson. It's short. Butler finally gets a hold of the ball. Roberts almost ran over him. Butler loses control of it, and it's knocked out of bounds by Nevada, Las Vegas. Stanley Roberts at 7 feet, replacing Shaquille O'Neal. No, he's still in there. O'Neal is still in. So now they've got the Twin Towers. And everybody thought the Twin Towers would make these people almost unbeatable, but it hasn't proven to be that way yet.
Well, Keith, they're very young, and they still have a lot to learn about how to play post defense and how to get position. But eventually, they're going to be the cornerstones along the baseline. And with this guy on the perimeter.
Jackson off the baseline, won't go down.
Shot's not going down.
It's Las Vegas ball.
He really, when you watched him warm up today, you can look in his eyes, and he's really, really ready to play, Jackson.
They left Hunt all alone in the corner. I mean, he had all day, and you just don't do that to Anderson Hunt. He'll kill you.
Anderson Hunt's really been playing steady basketball for Jerry Tarkanian. He's really been pleased with his performance. Jackson's a spurt player. He'll get on a spurt. He'll get on fire.
He's 1 out of 5 so far in the ball game from the field. 13-point UNLV lead.
See, right now in your half-court setup, they like to go inside and then outside. See, the ball goes down inside and then outside. There it is. Inside, outside.
Shot didn't go down. The rebound is inside, and there's a foul called on Larry Johnson.
They didn't score on Jackson's jump shot, but that's exactly the way that Dale Brown has designed his half-court attack. We dump the ball inside to the big people. If they attack the big people, kick it back out. And there's Jackson, who normally would make that shot. And there's the good inside rebounding position, quickness to the boards. Singleton, a very active player. Last year played the center position. He's having a tough time adjusting, trying to play on the wing.
But it's interesting, isn't it, that you had your so-called Twin Towers. The 2 big kids were in there, and yet it was Singleton, a mere 6'7", who went and got the ball.
Well, quickness to the ball. You know, last year their motto was, hard work pays off. This year their motto was, standing out in the crowd. And Dale really believes that they got a little bit passive, and they got in a situation where all the flattery, kids start believing it. And now they have to go back to really hard work again.
Las Vegas not giving them any time to loaf back. They make them work back. That time LSU did get back defensively.
Larry Johnson doesn't force any shots either.
That quick little pass from Butler, Johnson didn't handle it. It wasn't quite on the money, and it's a turnover for UNLV.
Larry Johnson was not aware that that pass was coming. That really should have been a made play.
Greg Anthony. Bounce pass to the corner for Hunt's Rainbow.
What a rainbow, Jay. From out of the Motor City in Detroit, Southwestern High School, where Perry Watson has another dominant team led by Jalen Rose, a young man who's the son of Jimmy Walker.
Anderson Hunt has now taken the scoring lead for Nevada, Las Vegas. He has 13.
See what they're doing? They're trapping Jackson to get the ball out of his hands.
Maurice Williamson, he can't get it. Stanley Roberts says whistle for the foul for LSU.
Stanley, the big fella, he has to develop a little bit better work habits in terms of conditioning. He's a very lovable young guy, but he has to realize as we look at the shooting percentage, that tells the story. 69% versus 25%. You're going to win a lot of games.
In case you wonder about these two big people, 7 feet, 288 for Roberts, and O'Neal, 7'1", 286.
I think this might be their best defense. They're rotating into the zone now. 2-3 matchup.
Moses Scurry checks in for UNLV, and Larry Johnson sits down for a bit of a rest.
Scurry's a guy that likes to chew on the glass. He's a Windex man. He'll get up on the glass. He's a good rebounder from out of New York City.
Ball slapped away by
Jackson. That's it to Jackson.
Jackson gets the basket.
Nice play by Maurice. I'm sure his dad, John, watching at home. We wish you a speedy recovery. Coming back from an operation on a kidney. Well, a great player, Keith. You saw him play.
Out of New Mexico State to the NBA.
Play for the Nets. See, I think this is their best defense. 2-3 matchup until the big guys learn how to play post defense.
Butler rims and comes out.
One of the things with that defense, it keeps the big people around the basket for good rebounding position.
Chris Jackson forces it.
Oh, Keith, that was awesome. Isaiah Thomas, eat your heart out. You couldn't do that.
Anderson Hunt out of the corner. Won't go. Almost. Here goes That wakes up the house.
It's showtime now, baby. Forget about Elway, Montana. This is excitement. This is enthusiasm. This is spirit. Shake and make, hangs in the air, twist, turn.
Denny Crum and Louisville are out to avenge last year's loss to Ohio State. Or Arkansas battles Texas on EBC's college basketball next Sunday.
27-19. And the play by Chris Jackson so far, I guess, the most dramatic play of the game, but I called it a force.
Well, here it is right now. To most players, it would be a force, Keith, but he has such freedom and such a license to shoot the ball where Dale gives him that freedom, and he has the great hang time. You know, he averaged 31 points a game last year, finished second to Hank Gathers of Loyola, who's a scoring machine. This year, Bo Kimball's leading the nation, and this kid's averaging 27.9. I think by the end of the year, LSU is going to come alive. I really do. There's just too much talent.
To go back to the Jackson play, though, while everybody was applauding and roaring over it, Rebels come down, Hunt hits 3.
Yeah, see, Vegas really gets the ball up the court quickly. See, the zone's got to be a little active, and it looks a little quicker.
Cianovich is in, Weiss is in. Weiss is outside. It rolls around the top of the backboard, and it's out of bounds.
Weiss came in against Iowa. We had that game, and he broke the game open against the Hawkeyes, who have a big game tomorrow night with Illinois. Illinois hanging in. We'll have Illinois next week against the Hoosiers.
Weiss is 6'4", 152, a sophomore from Simi Valley, California. Larry Johnson comes back in, and Butler will put down. Stacey Cianovich is at a guard position. He is a veteran, a senior. Outside, Jackson for 3.
Just a matter of time. When he's driving to the goal, it helps his range as a shooter because you got to respect the drive. They've been a better team since they rotated in the 2-3 zone. He's there to shoot the ball. That's his ball. That's why he's playing, and that's why he's on scholarship.
I think he was standing on the line and got away with it.
Yeah. He played with Don McLean, the outstanding forward for UCLA. Oh, what a shot. You topped that, John Elway. You topped that, Joe Montana.
Chris Jackson now with 15 points.
An explosive 15. He was 1 for 5 at one time.
That's Moses Scurry.
Wow, he had a big hand in his face along the baseline. Scurry came out of San Jacinto Junior College with his buddy David Butler. They were 68-3 in 2 years in Texas Junior College.
They may need the third digit on the scoreboard today.
It's showtime. He says, you can't handle me. He says, Stacy, you can't handle me.
O'Neal causing the problem, and Johnson saves it. Johnson grimacing like he may have hurt an ankle or a foot.
He did a great job in his post defense. See, Johnson, they got to think of Johnson. He was dominating inside, but the zone has sort of negated him.
You got to play a zone against him. He was going to eat their lunch. He'd score 50. Ball tips around and finally picked up by LSU, and a walk. A walk on O'Neal.
Shaquille O'Neal doesn't know how good he can be. Dale Brown certainly knows how good he can be. He lifted his pivot foot, I thought, Keith. There he is now. Picked the ball up. Oh, yes, he changed pivot foots. He definitely lifted his pivot foot. Dick Paparo right on the ball.
At 17 years of age, I couldn't even get to the post office. Here's a kid out here in front of 15,000 screaming people.
They say he was awesome against Texas when he blocked 10 shots.
There's another walk by Greg Anthony.
The zone defense has really done two things. One, the zone slows you down offensively. It really sort of takes away the running game and the quickness. It makes you have to make the extra pass. And the second thing, it's put them in better rebounding position, LSU.
Well, especially with 7 feet and 7-1 inside. Jackson's shot won't go down. Good rebound by Moses Scurry. Anthony in a hurry to Anderson Hunt, and they chase him out of the corner.
They like to run the ball up the sideline from Anthony to Hunt, looking for the three.
Too hard. Back iron. The rebound is outside to Chris Jackson.
Has great control of his dribble at all times. Look, his head is up.
Stanley Roberts. Oh, look at this.
I thought he got bumped on that play as well. Stanley has a jump shot a la Boblinier, played at St. Bonaventure.
When you're that big, it's not a bump, it's a ricochet. O'Neal a rebound. Intercepted on the pass outside to Anthony. Inside Johnson. He scores it. Got it. Foul.
That was an amazing move. Are you serious, Larry Johnson? I mean, that was an amazing move. He took the ball right in the face of the 7-footer Shaquille O'Neal. There's Dale Brown.
He knew he was strong enough to do it.
He's got great strength. This guy's Mr. Intensity on the sideline. He read a poem to me before the game that he was going to read to the team. I'll be honest with you, Keith. It was really a very touching poem. However, it was a little above my mentality, but that doesn't say much because my mentality is very low. I gave it to you. What did you think of it?
I didn't understand it either. I understood it, but I don't know what place it had in perspective of the moment, but that's beside the point.
Well, he's a masterful motivator. He's always reaching for that next step. Look at that fast change of direction.
Maurice Williamson for three.
He's starting to find himself.
5-point UNLV lead now at 35-30 with 7 minutes to go in the first half.
Williamson is a player that's learning how to play under control. And again, I can't emphasize enough, they've made their run with that 2-3 zone. See, the zone makes you make the extra pass. 4 or 5
Very young. Johnson inside. Butler score it, and the big man goes down. Stanley Roberts rolling around. Crack the lumber.
Butler very quick inside, but what a pass by Larry Johnson. Great vision.
Jackson puts Anthony away and hits it.
Little head fakes. Says, get out of my way, Greg Anthony. I'm going to put 35 on the board today. Oh, that's a walk. Oh, I thought he definitely walked. Anthony's having nightmares thinking about checking Jackson.
Vice won't get it. That's a foul on Larry Johnson. That's his second.
I really love Larry Johnson. I'll tell you, Keith, doing a game down in Vegas is always special. It's one of my favorite places with the pregame hype, the great enthusiasm and spirit of the Vegas fans. And are they spirited over that guy? There's Jerry Tarkanian.
Stanley Roberts sits down. Sims comes back for LSU. Wayne Sims, 250. They don't give away a whole lot. They give away 3 inches, but no pounds to speak of. Williamson against Vice. Goes right by it.
What a hand time. What a play. Sluts some high fives in the duck goal. Maurice Williamson hooking up with Jackson. What a difference in yesterday's game. Unbelievable against Florida.
3-point ball game right now. UNLV leading 37-34. Off the back iron.
One shot against the zone. Uh-oh, look at that change of direction. Are you serious? Are you serious? I can't believe it. This is awesome, Keith. Hold me down, baby. Hold me down.
1-point ball game.
Oh, my. Are we getting paid for doing this?
Butler won't go. Rebound. LSU with a chance to pick the lead.
They got a foul back here. They got a foul.
Williamson went down and a foul whistled against Nevada, Las Vegas.
Jerry Tarkanian going some troubled times now with the NCAA rulings. There's the change of direction. Now here's the trip. He trips him in the backcourt accidentally.
Not totally accidentally. No. Greg Anthony the foul.
They're laying some mean screens to get him free. Okay.
The Tigers have the lead.
I don't want to say I said it, Keith, but on the top of the show, I told you I saw it in his eyes, Keith, while he was warming up. He was coming out here to be an assassin, and he is a silent assassin.
38-37 LSU. Larry Young open, didn't take the shot. Goes instead to Larry Young, and Young is fouled by Sims.
Larry Johnson was fouled.
Johnson, I'm sorry.
Johnson
Larry
fouled
Johnson.
on the play.
Young was wide open, and Barry didn't take it.
Yeah, Barry Young gave him the basketball, gave up the rock. You know. Hey, Maurice Williamson certainly has picked up his game a notch in the last 3 or 4 games. Where's that great reverse layup? Look at that move. Just like he did at Wilberforce High School in New Haven under Bob Salisbury, where he scored 40 points a game.
4 minutes and 35 seconds to go in the first half. 38-37. LSU leading for the first time in the ball game.
They know, in fairness to Vegas, they really miss Stacey Ortman. Stacey Ortman gives them not only a guy that can run the court with quickness, he can score, but he's a tremendous defensive player.
This is the first one.
You know, I mentioned earlier that Jerry Tarkanian really a little bit down about all the interruptions, because it's not a one-game suspension, Keith. It really becomes almost like a month, because it breaks up the rhythm of the team. I thought the penalty of the NCAA was too severe, since it was just incidental charges that the kids totally repaid, and I thought the one game on each kid was too severe.
Williamson from the corner for 3. 41-38 LSU.
Williamson's becoming contagious from Jackson.
Butler inside, and he is hammered by Stanley Roberts.
David Butler has NBA ability, a very quick player.
Coming up at halftime, we've got a feature on Norm Stewart, the head coach of the top-ranked Missouri Tigers. And Roger Twibell and Dick Vitale will take you to the Foot Locker Slam Fest. That's going to be running the rest of our basketball season here on ABC. I think you'll enjoy it.
That was a lot of fun, Keith. These athletes are absolutely amazing. Neon Dion. He can get up. He's a high riser. Keith Jackson's in it. Your guy. You made Keith Jackson a superstar. He loves you. He does a great impersonation of you. Oh, Nelly.
He did everything himself.
Oh, Nelly. Jackson's on fire. They're shaking and baking in Louisiana.
5-point lead. Inside again. Butler is hammered. And again, it's Stanley Roberts.
This is the most exciting first half that I've been part of, and I've done a lot of games this year, Keith, in terms of the tempo and the kind of play. It's like an NBA first half. Talent with a capital T.
They gave it to Singleton, not Roberts. Both of them there, and it was a matter of take your choice.
I was telling you this morning that Jerry Tarkanian getting back to how it's broken up the rhythm of the Vegas team, and I thought the penalty was too severe. I think because of all these interferences, my feeling, Jerry Tarkanian has turned down a lot of NBA jobs. I really believe that Jerry Tarkanian, with the right offer, will go to the NBA after this year. And I'll tell you this, he will be a great NBA coach because he's a communicator. He really has great rapport with the players. I believe he's getting fed up with all the interferences.
4:01 to go in the first half, and a 3-point lead for the homestanding Bengal Tigers. What the LSU backcourt has done in the run to the lead. Jackson and Williamson have 36.
Look at right here.
LSU's 44 points.
The Fliss meter, he's got 24. I'll tell you, Keith, we watched him yesterday in the second half. Kenny Wolf, our knowledgeable producer, former player for Harvard. I'll tell you one thing, we watched him yesterday, and in the second half, he didn't take a shot for about the first 16 minutes. It was like he was trying to appease his teammates, and Don DeVoe had an excellent game plan, was to basically run the clock down 35 seconds and then look at the basket, and it was a very slow-paced game, not like what we're seeing here.
He was 1 out of 6, his first 6 shots, and then he hit 7 out of 8.
He's a great spurt shooter.
Singleton out in front with Jackson right now. Sets the pick for him, but picked up nicely by Anderson Hunt. Inside, they got the two.
See, they should go inside. They should go inside.
O'Neal takes his eye off the ball, and it goes off his leg out of bounds. Turnover, LSU.
But it was a good look. You want to take advantage of the big people in a half-court offense. Dump it inside and use them as the key inside-outside. There's the zone again. 2-3
Look
zone.
how small David Butler looks in there against O'Neal. He looks little.
It's like I looked against Keith Jackson in that slam jam contest.
Larry Johnson.
See, the zone makes them become a little passive. Notice how it takes time off the clock.
Butler can't get it. Great rebound, Greg Anthony.
Excellent play by Anthony. The little guard steps in. No way should he be able to rebound that long rebound like that with those trees inside.
1-point game now for LSU.
Oh, they're playing a special defense now. Look at chasing Jackson all over the court.
Williamson got Larry Johnson airborne and landed home.
He is really starting to develop a lot of confidence in his game.
Young out of the corner. Singleton nudges Johnson aside and rebounds it.
Oh, what a pass.
Robert.
What a pass. What a finalizer. Keith, what a pass. And he finalizes it like the exclamation point. Boom, bam, boom. What a great look. Look at Jackson. His head is up at all times, and he drives the pass in. And look at this guy's strength. Do they have potential as a team? What they're missing is a leader. They have to have somebody come forward as a leader on the team. Jackson's a very passive young man. He's not a vocal kind of kid. He makes his presence known with his play.
Roberts misses and Butler rebounds. At 2.5 minutes to go in the first half and a 5-point LSU lead.
Roberts loses about 25 pounds to be frightening. Shaquille O'Neal never got a hand up. Shaquille O'Neal never got a hand up. Very slow reacting. And Butler, who has a nice touch, shoots it. Now look at this. They're going to play Jackson man-to-man in zone. Anthony's going to chase him all over the place.
First point of the game for Shaquille O'Neal.
See what's happened, Keith? It's opened up other angles for other people by playing the man-to-man on Jackson in the zone with the other 4 people.
Anthony for 3.
Anthony answers with the long tray. What a game for you people. What a game. Look at this move.
Williamson for 3. Air ball. Rebound O'Neal. Count it and foul.
Hey, forget about Super Sunday. This is Sunday special right here. Shaquille O'Neal. Jerry saying, I can't believe what I'm looking at. I can't believe. He couldn't eat last night. Dinner is a nervous wreck thinking about the frightening combination of these 2 big people. And there's O'Neal, San Antonio, Texas. Led his high school team 36 and zip. Their senior year at Cole High School.
His second basket.
Comes out of San Antonio where Larry Brown's got him really playing great basketball. David Robinson, certainly one of the real blue chip players now in the NBA.
Tip up Roberts.
Stanley Roberts with the left-hand tip. I think got a little lucky on that play. They were down.
Johnson blocked. Rebound blocked by Jones. And James comes out with it. Anderson Hunt. Butler won't go. Rebound. LSU.
Away we go. Away we go. Count it. Count it. Look, he's doing a dance. He's doing a dance. Paparo says 2. Jackson misses. No, it was a three. Oh,
26 points for Jackson.
We're seeing one of the great performances this year in college basketball.
Anthony. LSU ball. 56-48, a minute to go, first half. The young, big people inside. Robertson O'Neal gaining confidence now with every passing second.
I think what's really happened, Keith, by playing the zone and keeping them active on the inside, they're in great rebounding position. And this is a big game for LSU, and I'll tell you why right after that jumper.
Jackson a little short. O'Neal puts it up.
And O'Neal has really come alive. I think the Vegas kids are absolutely like looking at awe. What's going on out here? I mean, they were winning easy, Keith. 24-11, Vegas.
Yep.
I can't believe Florida played this team down to the last 4 minutes.
Barry Johnson, good pass. Very young. David Butler is fouled by Roberts, and Roberts has 3 personal fouls.
That's been a major problem for Stanley and also for Shaquille all year long, getting into foul trouble. Stanley, unless he's going to lose some weight and get himself in great condition, Dale Brown's going to give him pine time. He'll be a member of my all-pine team, a guy with a world of potential. Dale says he's got to learn the lesson. He's a lovable kid, but he's got to learn to get in better condition. Hey, Keith, I'll tell you why this is a big game. They came out with all the great expectations, and they haven't been able to post what I call the real magical win over a top club like Kansas beat them. They need this win today to make a believer and really make them develop a sense of confidence. Because I believe, personnel-wise, they're a class of the Southeastern Conference.
There's a 5-team tie for the lead in the SEC, and LSU's next game is over at Ole Miss. They're going to run and gun here today with Las Vegas go to Ole Miss and play
Gerald Glass and company. He can play. He's a big-time player. They've been a little disappointment. In fact, the conference this year, I think anybody would agree, it's not really a vintage year because of what's happened at Florida. And I hate to see it. I hate to see coaches like Norm Sloan as we watch it. Oh, no, he deflected it.
Singleton out in front. In the corner, Williamson short off the iron. A rebound goes Shaquille O'Neal.
What a great half. What a great half. Look at Dale Brown. He's got to be pleased. Look at the fellow.
He's got a 9-point lead. That's why he's happy.
Also the way they played. And there's a sad Jerry Tarkanian.
LSU 58, Nevada, Las Vegas 49 at halftime.
ABC's college basketball, brought to you by the new generation.
This team's #1 ranking. Let's take a look at Missouri's head coach, Norm Stewart.
Is going to help us in the shootout this afternoon.
Missouri's Norm Stewart should have a lot to smile about these days. On Monday, his Tigers were named the #1 team in the nation. But all this week, Stewart hardly gave it a thought. In fact, if you listen to him, he'll tell you what a burden it is to be on top.
I think, first of all, the players, if they work hard and they win the ball games and they get it, well, they deserve it, and they ought to enjoy that. On the other hand, I think if you look at it, it's something that really nobody wants, but once they get it, you know, there's only one way that you basically get rid of this.
Considering what Norm Stewart has been through in the last 12 months, it's a small miracle he can joke about being #1. Last February, Stewart collapsed while traveling on a team flight to Oklahoma. 5 days later, he underwent surgery for colon cancer. While he was recovering, his wife of 33 years, Virginia, also underwent surgery. Stewart lost 30 pounds and still suffers from fatigue, but his brush with death has strengthened his love for life.
It's made me, like everything else, a little more appreciative. I've always felt that I appreciated everything, and the fact that we've had a tremendous life to this point, and hope that there's a lot more in front of us. But I think just much more appreciative of coaching and the people that we have and that they play.
Missouri's play has led to 19 victories and only 1 defeat. This year, Stewart's main problems are an NCAA in-house investigation into alleged recruiting violations. Last season, Missouri admitted to providing an airline ticket to a former player, a violation. This is the first time Stewart's been investigated, and he and his fans aren't cheering about it.
We are now having, as you mentioned, a complete investigation, which is a little That was a little surprising to me because we made the self-report. But again, everybody can question. Hopefully the mood of the times won't catch us up in this, and that everything will be judged on the merits. And if it is, well, I feel very good about it.
Storeman Norman Stewart says his illness hasn't mellowed him out or made him less competitive, but he does admit the bad calls and the turnovers aren't going to keep him up all night.
I think that I'm grinning more. I really think I'm smiling a lot more now, even when we're behind.
Was leading 24-11 at one point in the first half. LSU went on a 47-25 tear to lead by 9 at halftime. Well, coming up next now is a feature that you'll see the rest of the basketball season here on ABC Sports. They call it the Foot Locker Slam Fest. Roger Twibel and Dick Vitale and some real big wide bodies.
Today, 4 stars from the National Football League will try to shine on the basketball court. Coming up, it's the opening round of the Foot Locker Slam Fest. Hi, everybody. Along with Dick Vitale, I'm Roger Twibel. Welcome to the 3rd annual Foot Locker Slam Fest. 16 non-NBA professional athletes, Dick, will throw it down for a $50,000 top prize.
Roger, unbelievable. It'll be Slam Jam Bam, Dipsy Doo, Dunkaroo, Skywalkers. They're unbelievable. Come on down, Michael Jordan. There are some competitors here, baby.
This field's comprised of 16 athletes, and this half of the draw ranges from a quarterback to an Olympic silver medalist. The other half features the defending champion, Mike Conley. First up, though, it's the sacker against the quarterback. Chris Dolman of the Minnesota Vikings and Randall Cunningham of the Philadelphia Eagles. And Dolman 6'5" and 261. And Dick, he can get up in the air, but at 261, you come down in a hurry as he went with 2 balls that time.
Roger, we got the power dunker against the finesse dunker. Dolman, a real powerful physical force. There he is taking 2 balls. Great timing. What agility and timing for the big fella.
This was his second dunk. His first one scored 7-2. He led the NFL in sacks with 21 a year ago.
I'll tell you, move over Alan Page. This guy's the absolute superstar in Minnesota, and he's ecstatic with his 8.9.
Wow, so Dolman with an 8.9, and that means that Randall Cunningham, who scored 7.5 in his first dunk, has to beat 8.9. And from UNLV, he's seen some good dunkers, Dick.
I'll tell you, Roger, he was called the ultimate weapon by Sports Illustrated. Look at this finesse player with the reverse jam. Buddy Ryan, how do you like it, baby? I'll tell you one thing, when you look at this guy, you see a guy with great quickness. There he is taking it in reverse. Hey, Jerry Tarkanian, get him in a running Rebels uniform.
Dick, we got to tell everybody, though, those are not regulation men's basketballs. Those are women's basketballs, so they're a little smaller.
8.9, boy, that's going to be hard to get.
And it was hard to get for Randall Cunningham. He comes up short, and Chris Dolman advances. Now up next, the defensive back against the wide receiver, Sanders against Carter. They both missed their first dunks, so Deion Sanders, Neon, Deion, primetime, and Dick, he is a show unto himself.
He really is showtime. I really like his personality. Look at the explosiveness off the floor. Great hang time. A very explosive athlete.
And how explosive was it? Well, as he goes up, we'll tell you that this guy plays not only for the Atlanta Falcons, but for the New York Yankees, and that's worth a few points.
I'll tell you, you got to be a great athlete to do that, Roger. Look at that great hang time. And he's got the great personality. He's absolutely scintillating to be around.
7.8, and that means Anthony Carter, who's a native of Riviera Beach, Florida, is coming in, and that's his slam, but is it enough?
AC, you're in big trouble, baby. Call Schembechler up for some help.
6'8", Deion Sanders beats Anthony Carter. Next week, long jumper Mike Powell versus the Rookie of the Year, Jerome Walton, and then a battle of the center fielders, Devon White and Ellis Burks.
Ready to go with the second half. 58-49, LSU leading the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Dick Vitale, if you don't quit going to so many basketball games, you're going to look like that.
I think I do look like that. You're being kind to me.
Dick Vitale named the Sports Personality of the Year by the American Sportscasters Association, and now my football partner, Bob Greasy, bless his heart, has been moved to the NFL Hall of Fame. Robert, we're just a great football player, and now he's in the Hall of Fame where he should be. He was in with some great people, too.
He was really Mr. Consistency when he played, no doubt about it.
You saw the numbers there at halftime, and it was the big turnaround. A 13-point LSU trailing, and then they just blitzed them by 22 points to lead by 9 at halftime. And the IU Bengals have the ball to start the half, and they start out with a turnover.
Well, Uncle Momentum, Mr. Mo, was certainly on the side of LSU going in at halftime, and they sustained the electricity they played with. It'll be interesting to see if they can.
Anthony handles out in front with Anderson Hunt. Inside, Moses Scurry is working, and out of the corner, Larry Johnson. They go inside to Scurry, and it won't go down. He's fouled.
They did a nice job attacking the 2-3 zone. They stepped right into the gap of the zone, and they got right into that seam.
The foul is on O'Neal. He has 2 personals now, and Stanley Roberts has 3. So the 2 big men really in foul trouble as yet. Scurry makes the first one. It's 58-50.
Jerry Tarkanian has not had his team together. Early in the year, he lost David Butler academically, Moses Scurry academically, now the recent NCAA ruling, which, as I said earlier, really is not a 1-game suspension in basketball. That's like a month. We have to suspend. He has to put 2 players out a game in the next 3 games.
Good play by Scurry, picked up by Hunt. Hunt goes to the corner. Larry Johnson gets it up in the air. It's air ball and inside. Battling is Butler, and a foul is whistled. That may have been a pass.
Well, I'll tell you, he'll tell you it was a pass. I think he was thinking shot, but then at the last second decided to pass the ball. Jerry Tarkanian has decided to go with strength up front. He's playing Moses Scurry as a starter instead of Barry Young.
O'Neal getting his 3rd foul. He and Roberts both have 3 now for LSU.
You know, we talked about Jackson having to have a big game, Keith, a solid 25. And to me, the kid gets 26 in the first half, and it was really a solid performance because his point totals totally exceeded his shots.
Butler at the line with 8 points, 4 out of 6 from the foul line. 7-point LSU lead, cut now to 6 by Butler's free throw.
Butler's a very quick player. They believe that he can guard people on a perimeter as well as on the inside with his tremendous quickness. Came out of Washington, D.C., went to San Jacinto Junior College, played for Ronnie Arrow down at Texas.
Sims picks it up for LSU. Maurice Williamson, Chris Jackson backcourt. Sims on the front line with O'Neal, and now Singleton in, replacing Robert.
Jackson.
Oh, it's O'Neal out and Singleton in. Robert stays. Puts it up, missed it.
Jackson and Williamson had 40 points between them in that first half. Good job defensively in transition. That was one of the keys for LSU. Get back defensively, negate the break.
Larry Johnson came out storming for UNLV, but the zone shut him down.
Well, they'd like to see him out in the perimeter, even though he has a pretty good shot from out there, as you can see.
Just hit the 3-pointer. Now it is a 3-point ball game. LSU leading and time ball. 18:36 to go, and it's 58 Tigers, 55 Rebels. Jumps out 6-0 to start the second half of play, and now it's a 3-point ball game. There's some of the NBA scores, other games being played in advance of the big one over in New Orleans. Duke gets by Georgia Tech by 2.
I'll tell you, Mike Krzyzewski does an amazing job year in and year out. They play great team defense. Bob Hurley's become an outstanding point guard. Kenny Anderson, though, is the best freshman in America. Vegas outscored him 6-zip. Big run by Vegas, because I'll tell you something. If LSU came out with a hot run here to start this half like they finished, we could have had maybe a blowout. But Vegas is back right in the hunt.
Chris Jackson brings it up.
Look at that screen by Sims. You got to fight to get over the top of those screens.
Drops it off inside to O'Neal. His shot is short. Roberts rebounds it.
I'll tell you, it's amazing when the both of them hang around the basket like that. You had the bad shot by O'Neal. Roberts. Oh, Indiana up 17 on Minnesota.
Minnesota just can't play on the road, though. That's an incredible story, isn't it?
Well, I think, isn't that game at Minnesota? Is that in Indiana?
I don't know.
I think it's at Minnesota.
Might be. That's wrong. That score is wrong.
They gave us bad information.
Yeah, score is wrong. Yeah, it's Minnesota at home winning by 17.
Yeah, they're tough in the barn. They got an outstanding player, Melvin Newbern, a tremendous defensive player.
They don't play on the road.
They have a tough time playing Haskins' team winning on the road. You're right, Keith. And to be a great team, you got to be able to win some on the road. Oh, nice pass.
Scurry inside.
But Johnson created that for Scurry. He made the quick drive to the goal. There's the right score. Minnesota up 17 on the young Hoosiers. Nobody back.
Hunt missed it. Rebound Scurry.
Little slow
out of bounds for Moses.
A little slow getting back defensively. Moses Scurry's done a solid job getting the start here in the second half.
We're having some power trouble along the court side here for the moment. Rolls off the back iron. Rebound Sims won't go down.
Sims hanging around the basket.
Lit on it. Long pass ahead. Inside Scurry. Blocked out of there and comes back out to Hunt. And they're asking for goaltending. Don't get it. Johnson misses and rebound to Robert.
Here's where he likes to go in showtime right now. Little change of direction. Get it back to him.
Jackson. Johnson the rebound. Long pass. Jackson knocks it out of bounds.
When Jackson takes the ball to the goal, Keith, or looks to shoot, Williamson's going to have to rotate back defensively and give him some ballast. Sitting right behind Jerry, his wife Lois Tarkanian, as we look at Dale Brown. There's his wife right behind him, her head down on the left.
Anthony and Hunt outside. Johnson playing outside, leaving Scurry inside along with Butler. That's Butler. Got it.
Their front court has really come out in the second half and given a solid performance. When you rate the top front courts in America, I'd go with Stacey, Orgman, Johnson, and Butler as the best in the nation.
The Rebels are back on top, 61-60.
Not a good shot right there.
And a whistle and a foul.
Stanley wrote with the call. Larry Johnson says, no, Stanley. Stanley told us to tell all his students back there at Golden Ring School, where he's an administrator, to do some studying, as Dale Brown doing some teaching.
Johnson now has 3 personal fouls.
At the line, shooting 2.
Williamson was so highly acclaimed out of high school, played out in New Haven, Connecticut, River Cross High School. You know, I mentioned Norm Sloan about coaches. Florida came in yesterday, a lot of problems. Dwayne Shinsis, you and I were talking about it. I hate to see careers end like Norman Sloan's. Shelby Metcalf, 27 years, let go in the middle of the season. It's really sad to see guys who put so much time and so much into their career end like that.
All knocked out of bounds by LSU. The Tigers back to a 1-point lead now as Singleton goes out and Sims comes back for the Bengals. Inside Scurry, nice move, ball checked away and gets it back and rolls out again, and this time the Tigers will get it.
Scurry's a very emotional player, Keith. He really plays with a lot of emotion, a lot of enthusiasm. He's a crowd favorite down in Vegas. See, right now, let's take a look at the defense. Anthony's playing head-to-head on Jackson, and they're zoning.
Johnson with a strong rebound. Ball picked up by Butler.
LSU a little bit slow getting back defensively now. That's how they attack the zone.
Butler, blocked by O'Neal.
Butler takes it at Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille says, no, I already have the record in the SEC and block shots. Don't you know that, Mr. Butler? I blocked 10 in one game. There he goes. Look at Shaquille. He goes up. What a body. He was just awesome when he had him in that McDonald's All-American game last year.
15 and a half minutes to go in the ball game. Inside Butler.
See, he didn't get a hand up that time on Butler at all.
Johnson gets the ricochet. Scurry got it.
What a big half. What a big half on a Moses Scurry. Good coaching move by Jerry Tarkanian to go with some strength on the inside.
Moses has got 10 now.
Yeah, he really's played a strong second half.
And they're going right at LSU's big people with 3 fouls. Jackson, no.
The reverse dunk, he's going to wave it off on the cylinder. Dick Paparo says no. Good call. The ball was up on the cylinder.
The officials out of the ACC, Rich Paparo, Larry Rose, and Stan Rote. And they're burning rubber today, keeping up with this crowd.
Well, Paparo's worked 5 times in the Final Four. He's going to be chasing John Wooden soon. On a lob. Foul. The diagonal pass set that lob up. Nobody threw that pass better than Sherman Douglas, who's playing brilliantly for the Miami Heat. He's to flip it up to Derek Coleman. Hey, big win for Syracuse yesterday over Georgetown. There's the diagonal pass. Flip it up over the top. Catches the defense, goes right behind Singleton. Butler. Good performance yesterday. Syracuse finally settling, going with a point guard, playing Billy Owens where he belongs, the small forward. And Billy has the big game against the Hoyas.
Singleton, second personal foul. 66-62 now. UNLV leads it, and they're on a 17-4 run.
Well, Jackson hasn't scored here in a half after 26 in the first half. For 5 minutes and 9 seconds, he hasn't had a douche yet, Kate. They've done a good job. Look at Anthony. Chase him. He doesn't want to get the ball.
Anthony's really been on him hard.
He's chasing him. See, they're zoning. The other 4 people are zoning.
Ball turned over by the Tigers.
Sometimes people play special.
Anthony misses the slam. Rebound is way outside.
Something will happen right here. Something will happen right here. Oh.
Greg Anthony's slam attempt blew up in his face.
Singleton, a very active player. They're starting to get into some gaps on his 2-3 zone. There's a big gap right in the middle behind the front 2 that play on the
66-64 Rebels make it a 4-point lead now as Hunt hits one.
They're starting to recognize the gaps and the seams in the zone.
Anderson Hunt now has scored 16 points in the ball game. Chris Jackson has 20.
He leans so well. He is going to be a sensational NBA player. The 24-second clock. Can't check him one-on-one.
Butler hits one. Jackson has 28.
David Butler on the interior. Good catch down in the box. Turnaround Jay.
Air ball there. Roberts pushed him. That's 4 personal fouls on Stanley Roberts. And now one of the Towers has got to go sit down.
See, I really believe the problem facing Stanley Roberts has a lot to do with fatigue and conditioning. And that's why he picks up a lot of really silly fouls. Vegas came out real strong. In the Big West, they have one loss. Lost to Neil McCarthy's New Mexico State team that features a host of kids from out of Chicago, the Windy City.
Butler again.
David Butler playing well, Scurry playing well, and Johnson.
And Butler's got 16 now.
Well, he's an NBA player, Keith. He's got quickness, size, range. See, here's the key now. They're playing a zone, and they're playing man-to-man on Jackson. Trying to keep the ball out of his hands. There's inside-outside.
Missed it. Rebound, Sim. Good play by Sim.
Good role player, hangs around the basket, uses his body, his touch, kisses the glass. See, right now, if they dump it to Scurry, use their inside people. Oh, that's the one. Excellent play. Created by Anthony, finished by Hunt. What he did was spot up. He shaped up to an open spot. Penetration by Anthony created that opportunity.
The Rebels have run off now to an 8-point lead. Hunt's 5 out of 7 in 3-point shooting today.
See, it's like a diamond and one they're playing. Hunt up at the point.
Sims hits one.
Well, other people are going to be open, Keith, because they're playing head-to-head on Chris Jackson, and the other 4 are zoning into a diamond. It's been a heck of a basketball game with loads of talent. Alex Johnson playing on the perimeter.
That's Anderson Hunt. Missed this time off the back iron and the rebound for LSU. Randy DeVall gives to Singleton, and Singleton is fouled.
Singleton gets fouled on a play. Jackson had the awareness as Dale Brown has gone to a little quicker lineup playing Randy DeVall, who used to start but lost his starting role. Came out of junior college. He's from right here in Baton Rouge. Went to the same JUCO as a kid by the name of Keith Smart. Mention that name to Syracuse, and they know who he is. Second foul on David Butler. 1987, Smart hit the big jumper to beat Syracuse in the national championship. There goes Larry Johnson. Tim Gerkovich, the assistant coach, walking behind him with the sweater on. Used to be the head coach of Pittsburgh. He is one of the real brilliant assistant coaches in America.
76-71.
They got to get some consistent play out of Singleton.
Trying to cut the Rebel lead now to 4.
He did a solid job as a starter last year, played the center position.
2 seconds, less than 12 minutes to play in the ball game, and the running Rebels lead it by 4.
Welcome back. Hello, I'm Cheryl Miller, and with me is Dorothy Johnson, the mother of Larry Johnson for UNLV, and she drove all the way from Dallas to see her son play, and you probably miss not being able to see Larry play on a regular basis.
That's right. I do really do miss it. I really do.
We were joking about earlier that he was a better football player than a basketball player and actually boxed a little.
Well, to me, he was a better linebacker, and he even played quarterback. He was tall enough to see over to everybody else, but he shot up so fast he decided it was basketball, and he stuck with it.
Well, we're glad he stuck with basketball. He's having a fabulous game. Let's go back to you, Keith.
All right, Joe, thank you very much. He's got the body of a linebacker, I'll tell you that.
I'll tell you a quick story about his mom. His mom used to watch him play. He'd be out in the playgrounds at 2, 3 in the morning. There was a playground right next to his house, and she'd be out there, and she'd see the lights on and knew he was safe playing, as she could see from her window. Watch her little boy, Larry.
James Jones in the lineup right now for UNLV, along with Barry Young, Doug Anthony, and out in front, Anderson Hunt. Butler's inside, has that rebound, loses, picks it up, loses again, and ball rolling around, and now the bodies are falling. And a jump ball is called, and it'll go to Nevada, Las Vegas. I understand the USGA and Karsten Solheim's Ping Golf Club Company have settled the legal action involving the Square Groove clubs. It's a very complex, complicated decision. But the point is, if you're playing and your interest in the game is within the structure of the USGA, don't throw them away. Don't put them on the shelf because they have reached a compromise agreement on it. The PGA litigation, however, will continue.
They've changed their zone. They're into a 1-2-2 zone. Jackson playing the point. James Jones started earlier this year when David Butler was ineligible. He walked. He caught the ball, lifted his pivot foot.
That's the second time Greg's done that.
Yeah, and he's got away with it once or twice. He's done a good job defensively. As we look at Tarkanian, Anthony playing head-to-head on Jackson in this half.
Well, Jackson and Williamson had their 40 points in the first half, as you mentioned. Here in the second half, they've had 4 so far.
That's because of that special defense now, which has created a problem for Jackson to get the ball.
Drop it off inside to the big man O'Neal, and he drops it through, and it's a 2-point lead for the running Rebels.
Nice movement without the ball by Shaquille O'Neal. See, there's the opening right behind Jackson, and utilize Jones as a passer.
Inside, pass intended for Butler, knocked out of bounds.
This is where
LSU.
LSU's got to take advantage of the fact that right now, I was going to say, well, here comes Johnson back on the floor. Took a little breather.
He comes in, Jones sits down.
You know, after this game, Jerry Tarkanian's team could dominate in the month of February, certainly in their league. A lot of home games. Oh, nice pass.
Butler got it.
I call that a zigzag pass. You throw it into the post area, take it from the post area, and zigzag it back to the outside.
Butler now with 18 points. He's having a big day. Rebound, Shaquille O'Neal. Got it.
Great hands, Keith. And when he comes to the ball quick, he is so effective. He's got to learn to...
17 years old. That just...
blows your mind.
Terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
What is he going to be when he's 21?
He's a man. Wow. He's going to be a very wealthy guy. A multi-millionaire. Look at him.
Right.
Great personality, too.
And don't ever let him get on a motorbike, huh? 4 fouls now on O'Neal and 4 fouls on Roberts, and the Twin Towers of LSU are in foul trouble.
That's been a problem all year long. Inexperience on how to play post defense. There's a look at Minnesota blowing out Indiana by 24. Minnesota with a great home court advantage. Their fans really get into it, and a very experienced team that knows how to win at home. You know, everybody mentions the Big Ten, and the Big Ten is super. What about Gene Katie and Purdue? They're undefeated.
Incredible.
Unbelievable. That's Jerry Tarkanian's wife. She's done this on many occasions. Nervous wreck. Has a lot of praying.
Has her doctorate degree in human behavior.
Look at this right here. Oh, it can't be that tough, Lois. It can't be that tough.
10 minutes to go in the ball game. 79-76. UNLV leading LSU out of the corner.
See, look right now. Right now, if you watch Jackson, he's standing because of the man-to-man defense. Man-to-man defense of Anthony playing head-to-head, and the other four is zoning. That has really taken away the one-on-one ability of Chris Jackson. Smart move by Jerry Tarkanian, who normally just plays straight head-to-head man-to-man defense. Johnson's going to get open right behind Jackson. They're going to be able to drive the ball.
Anthony misses off the front iron and then commits a foul, trying to pick the ball away from Chris Jackson.
Silly foul. One thing UNLV not fouling because of the zone setup. Now you watch right now, Anthony will find Jackson and all the other people will zone. See, look at Anthony. He'll wait for Jackson to get up to the midcourt area.
You're talking about the Big Ten, that shot by Ramil Robinson yesterday to beat Michigan State at Ann Arbor for Michigan. I tell you, Judd Heathcote's ball club is,
especially at home, they're going to be tough.
Surprise, yeah.
They beat Indiana at Indiana, too, so it was a good road win. You know, you mentioned Ramil Robinson. He loves the big game, the lights, the spotlight. And I'm afraid I have to say this now, Keith, and I love Ramil Robinson, but if I had to pick a point guard now on my All-American team, I have to change. It's got to be Gary Payton. He's had such a consistent, unbelievable year.
Chris Jackson.
They got him free. Very tough to get him free in a half-court offense.
Jackson has 31 to tie the ball game at 79.
There's that zone defense. A skip pass is so effective against the zone. Get it to Jackson, Maurice. Oh, good play.
Tipped away, and the Rebels come back the other way.
Anthony, O'Neal. It's hot and furious out here.
Woke up the crowd.
There's some of the fans in the Deaf Dome.
14,000 of them. There are a few vacant seats, not many.
There's Anderson Hunt, and there's the big fella waiting for him. Oh, close to a goaltender. Very close. Remember, you must get the ball on its upward flight. See, Scurry's now back on the floor, and he was very effective in the first half, number 35.
Short by Butler.
I smell an LSU spurt. They're starting to open up the court a little bit more. And this is where Jackson usually excels. Late in the game, he wants to rock.
Williamson.
Nice little spurt. The court is starting to open up a little bit, Keith. And when it opens up, Jackson becomes dynamite, and Williamson has really caught on. This game has been as advertised. They're fighting.
Rebound, Scurry. LSU ball, and Moses screaming for a foul.
Jerry Tarkanian might need a TO to talk to his people.
Mice is up to come in for the Rebels.
See what they're going to do now? They're going to send Jackson through the defense to try and bump Anthony off the screen. See, Anthony's chasing him, and he's trying to bump him off the screen, moving without the ball. Look, watch him. He's constantly moving without the ball.
Williamson got loose.
He's wide open, Keith, because of the presence of Jackson.
That's a foul on Duvall. Could very well have been a foul on Roberts. 85-79, LSU by 6.
You can almost sense the spurt coming because of the way the floor was beginning to open up. That is a concern. Jerry Tarkanian, Father Flanagan, triggered a towel. Can you imagine that? 59 years old, this game does the 2 towels? 2 towels? We don't do that in broadcasting, Keith.
Bill Shoemaker, the horse racing legend, rides the final mount of his career.
You see, we're forming Chase Cooney into the horse business. He's gonna race horses. Raise horses. Race horses. What a joke that fight was, Gerald Cooney. Unbelievable.
Travis Spice stays in. He's outside with Anderson Hunt has the ball. Good three-point shooter. David Butler was open. Pass inside instead to Larry Johnson. And Johnson sealed off on the baseline. Will turn it over.
He drew a crowd. He flashed to the basketball. He drew a crowd down there on the baseline. Oh, no, look at Price now. He's got the challenge of checking Jackson.
6-point lead for LSU.
Now he's going to go through the defense, try to run him off a screen. Price is chasing him all over.
The ball way outside. And Butler beats O'Neal on the backboard.
I don't think you wanted that shot in that sequence right there. So when you have options like Williamson on the floor,
that's Larry Johnson missing.
He pulled up short on that shot. He didn't follow through.
He knows it. See him coming down the court. He's working his hand.
I think what he anticipated, if you look at the foul trouble right now, Johnson the 3, LSU, Robertson, O'Neal 4. That's been the story of their year. Both big guys getting in foul trouble.
Jackson's out of the corner. No. Rebound, O'Neal.
Oh, what a great move that was, Keith. From the weak side, the offensive rebound and a power move. And then he gets the big hug and the squeeze. And there's a lot to hug.
Butler got the 3rd foul, so he and Johnson now have 3, and O'Neal going to the line with a 3-point opportunity, 87-79.
There's Jackson, and there's O'Neal, a diaper dandy, a young baby, as you would call him, Keith, going up super strong. What a class of freshmen right now. You talked about certainly Kenny Anderson, Shaquille O'Neal. Kid by the name of Brian Hendrick, the University of California, is a great one. The freshman, his dad was George Hendrick, who plays for Luke Campanelli, having a great year.
You were talking about Gary Payton a while ago. UCLA beat him by 14 points to tie Oregon State for the Pac-10 lead yesterday.
They got a tremendous tandem in the corners in McLean and certainly Trevor Wilson.
Anderson Hunt with 3.
Anderson having a good, solid year. Spots up into the opening, shoots for 3. Now watch when Jackson is coming up a screen. He'll give it up.
Sims.
Oh, he played with the ball. No good. Got to wave it off. Can't interfere up on a cylinder. You can do that in international basketball.
O'Neal laughing about it on his way down the court. His coach is looking for a drink of water.
There's the jumper. Dale blamed himself a little bit earlier. He's playing with the ball up on the rim. He blamed himself, said he was too passive with this team. And now has to get on him a little bit more.
Vice. No. Johnson the rebound.
Great hand.
That's blocked goaltending. Count it.
Good call by the trail official, Larry Rose. Great hands.
Now a 4-point ball game. LSU 88-84.
This is the time of the game where this guy usually excels with the rock. Shooting 90% on the free throw line, Keith. And you know how valuable that is in the winning time, crunch time.
Sims feeds low to O'Neal. Good.
At that quick release down in the box. Looked like he was shooting down.
Well, he is. 7-footer, and he's jumping about 2 feet. That's a good rebound by David Butler. He's had a big ball game.
That's a big rebound, too. Big possession. They need to score.
Got it.
What a play. What a play by Butler. He makes the great rebound, and then he converts it. We got a dandy of a game.
He's got 20 points, David does.
I'll tell you, that football game's going to have to go big time, Tex. I'll do this showtime. I'm only kidding. That football game's going to be a great one, too. Montana and Elway. Who do you like?
None of your business.
Oh, come on now. You know you're a big football expert. You got to tell me now. Who do you like?
I like them all.
You like them all. You'd be a politician. Well, I'm going to tell you, it's Montana going away easy. Elway has no shot.
All I know is this, that the heavy favorites oftentimes don't win in ball game benefits. Boom! Outside, Duval.
Randy Duval with the jumper, not the guy you think would shoot the ball. But he says, that's why they recruited me for my long-range J.
7-point lead for LSU. 4:40 to play in the game. Inside to go to Spurry. Steal it away from Mosey.
Put the ball in the hands.
Run.
Nice look.
Williamson.
Gonna get a T.O. Jared. Gonna get a T.O. Jared. Get ready to blow you out, baby.
95-86. Tarkanian calling timeout.
Look at that.
On the floor.
Look at that. He's not passive now, Keith. Look at this crowd. Going bananas. They're going wacky.
We'll be back with more from the Pete Maravich Assembly Center at LSU after a word from our ABC station.
with the excellent pass to Maurice. Williamson converts, finalizes, gets the deuce, and he hit the big, long area code jumper. Look at this wacko. Look at him go bananas. He's having a ball. He loves it. I love that enthusiasm. Great job, Dale Brown. From one wacko to another wacko.
Next week, Louisville at Ohio State or Arkansas at Texas, depending on what area of the country you're watching. And then Indiana and Illinois from Champaign. Both teams struggling just a bit. But the Big Ten race very much alive. And remember, they don't have a postseason tournament in the Big Ten.
Well, Illinois hanging in. They need that win tomorrow over Iowa. There's a block shot. Fargo Hawkeye Arena, beautiful place. Never easy.
Non-call there and a good non-call.
Yeah, good non-call by Dick Paparo. Well, see, now they come back straight man-to-man.
Williamson against Hunt. Jackson picks Anthony. Peeled him right off on the pick.
Yeah, see, man-to-man right now is what Jackson should have a field.
O'Neal missed trying to come back over his head. That's a little fancy. And the Rebels come away with it. 95-86, 9-point lead LSU. And a foul. Jump ball. Van Roop called it. Larry Rose called it jump ball.
Greg Forrest right behind him, outstanding assistant coach. There's Jerry Torcadian, wanted the foul. Thought he had some arm. See, right now they got to put the ball in the hands of Jackson. It's straight man-to-man. There isn't a college player alive that can handle him one-on-one in a man-to-man situation.
Inside, you got a foul on David Butler trying to handle Shaquille O'Neal. And I tell you what, David's got to be getting a little tired. He's got 4 fouls. He's been squared up against that big guy all day. And O'Neal at 17 probably has absolutely unlimited energy.
These guys are carving initials in their hair. I can't do that. I tried. It doesn't work.
Well, Gary wants time out here.
Too late.
Can't get it.
See, they're going to get it to Jackson right now because he'll get fouled. He's a great free throw shooter. Bad pass to him.
Hunt on a break.
Give it up. Give it up.
Missed it. And a foul. Foul on Williamson.
Dick Paparo nails Maurice Williamson with the foul.
Anthony sort of bristled up here. He doesn't like it.
See, the reason I'm talking about putting the ball in the hands of Jackson Key, they have to learn how to play with the clock, these young kids. 3:17, you're up 9. You got one of the premier free throw shooters in America. He's a great, great guard. They got to get the ball in his hands. All right, there's the missed dunk. Right here, he takes off. He gets ironed. It's Brick City, USA. He can't believe it. And then Williamson comes up with a rebound, and then they call the foul a little bit later.
Yeah, but you know, he's given up about 88 pounds.
He's given up a few pounds.
He weighs 200, and O'Neal weighs 286, 288, somewhere in that neck of the woods, depending on what he had for breakfast.
I think O'Neal's got to come down to about 270. Get even a little bit quicker.
Let's 95-86, still a 9-point lead at 3:17 to play, and the free throw is good by Anthony. 11:30 left in that ball game, and Minnesota blowing away Bobby Knight's babies.
Well, his young babies really having a tough time on the road. It's a whole different world than playing in Bloomington, Indiana. They're young, but they're going to be a good basketball team in the future.
We'll be back with more after this message and the word from our ABC station. 87, LSU leading UNLV. The losses by the Rebels this year have been to Kansas, Oklahoma, and at New Mexico State by a point. LSU's losses this year have been Kansas here. They lost at Mississippi State. They lost at Alabama, and they kind of helped Georgia as the Bulldogs beat them here at Maravich Assembly Center.
You know, these two schools are hooked up in a war on recruiting also, Keith, for Ed O'Bannon from down at Artesia High School in Lakewood, California. He has said that LSU and Vegas are two of his choices, along with Syracuse possibly, UCLA, Arizona State, Southern Cal.
That's a pretty good selection.
Not bad. He's like a catalog. He's a great player.
A 7-point lead for LSU.
Big possession right now defensively. Vegas has got to come up with a stop.
James Jones out in front. O'Neal misses once. It's blocked out of there by Butler. Great play, David.
Oh, great fly by Butler. But Jackson gets fouled on a play, and if you're Dale Brown, that's the guy you want on that free throw line. Look at him. 90.2 on the free throw line.
I think Chris got an elbow on the top of the head.
He's really a nice kid, Keith. He's really a real warm kid. As everybody know, he has that Tourette syndrome, a nervous, I guess you'd call it a nervous disorder, basically, and he does a great job now as a spokesman for them, and really working his medications, got it under control.
They throw good. That's an 8-point lead now, and time certainly the LI of LSU at 2 minutes and 53 seconds to play in the game.
This is what I was talking about a little bit earlier. Put the ball in his hands, let them have to foul him, or he'll make something happen, and he's like automatic on a free throw line.
Way outside. Won't get it. Rebound goes to the big man, O'Neal. He's got Roberts back in the game as well.
He's made himself really not a good pass by O'Neal.
Johnson, and he's fouled. And Roberts is gone.
Roberts is going to really have to work on positioning, and that will all come with a little bit more quickness, which will happen. Stanley, get away from the table, baby.
He fouls out with 8 points.
He's a lovable kid, DL says, just a beautiful young guy. His high school coach, Jim Childers, is here working on the LSU staff. Came out of South Carolina, player of the year in high school. Larry Johnson's been quiet really in the second half. They've done a good job with the zone, forcing him more to the wing and to the perimeter. Where in a man-to-man early in the game, he was dominating the game.
The ball comes in to replace him. Moses Scurry comes back, and Butler is going to get a little rest.
That's the score. LSU's got a great recruit in the house today. I met him in the locker room and then in Dale's office. Antonio Lang. His choices keep. I know you like this because you love academics. Duke, North Carolina, Georgetown, LSU, and I spoke to his dad, and he told me, my son's not a 4.0, Mr. Vital. He's a 4.36 on a 4.0 scale because of advanced placement courses. He's just on top of the ladder, and he's from Mobile, Alabama. Hey, where's Alabama? They're not in that hunt with Sanderson. He mentioned the schools to me. He mentioned Duke, Carolina, Georgetown, LSU.
I don't know.
We had a great game here so far. It's an 8-point game. It certainly could swing with the explosiveness of a team like Vegas. But right now, LSU should be in total command, especially with the presence of a player like Jackson who excels at the free throw line.
Well, LSU's got some tough games on the road. You look now, they've had some of their tough games here at home. They got to go play at Ole Miss. Then they got a runner with Loyola Marymount. Then they got Mississippi State and Auburn here, but then they got to go Tennessee, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, all on the road in succession. That probably will tell you how they will wind up doing in the country.
Well, Ricky Pitino's done an amazing job creating so much excitement at Kentucky. He and Gary Williams, their personalities are so contagious to building a program, and in 2 years, Kentucky will be awesome. They got a verbal commitment recently from an outstanding big kid from out of Florida, Miami, Jamel Martinez, 6'11".
In this ball game with 2:34 to go, it's 97-89 LSU, and Larry Johnson goes back to the free throw line.
I want to know who's the schedule maker, though, down here at LSU, because if I'm Alabama, as we look right here, fouls to give, timeouts left, you can read it all. There's the conversion. Playing Alabama the next day after playing Notre Dame, and then on top of it, traveling to play Alabama. They had a great performance against Diggers Fighting Irish, and they got blown out by Alabama.
Ball knocked out of bounds by Greg Anthony. Tonight, we invite you to stay with ABC for some special entertainment, starting with Life Goes On. Then Bruce Boxleitner hosts the all-new Love with a Twist, followed by William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, and Christopher Lloyd in Star Trek 3, the ABC Sunday night movie.
Get the open man. They got to think trifecta now. They need 3 threes.
They're 1 point from 100. 99-90 LSU. Johnson gives it away to Scurry, who brings it back for Anderson Hunt. 3.
There's one of them. He answers with 1.
2 minutes to go in a ball game. Jones after Duval in the corner. They try to trap him, but they get it out of there. Oh, what a quickness by Jackson. Wow. Chris Jackson, no. Rebound O'Neal.
Rebound by O'Neal. I don't know about the shot. I guess normally that shot will fall for Jackson, but you're up at that time. Oh, there's Johnson with the strong move to the goal. You only take a layup. With this lead, you only take a layup.
Rebels steal it.
Anthony with the quick hands.
Hunt won't go down. And Sims rebounds it and throws it away. 124-101-95. 6 points for LSU, but the Tigers just turned it over.
Yale Brown's got to really be upset with the way they are playing late in the game. Right now, they don't have a rhythm to running out the clock or getting the high percentage shots. And that could be the youth, the inexperience of this basketball team, but he has to be concerned. This game is not over, Keith. Nope. Not with Anderson Hunt on the floor to knock down the three, or Johnson.
Inside they take it. Now back outside to Greg Anthony. No. Rebound. Williamson has it.
They don't need points. They got to back the ball out.
There's a foul called, I think, on Anderson Hunt.
Really not playing smart basketball right now with the lead.
Hunt with 3. Butler's the only Rebel with 4. Robert just fouled out for LSU, and O'Neal's been playing a long time with 4 personal fouls. And now the ball will go to the line.
And other than Jackson, they've really struggled on the free throw line against Georgia when they lost that game to Georgia in overtime. They missed 10 1-and-1s in the last 7 minutes in a row. There's a big 1-on-1 right now. This could really make it easy for them.
Missed it.
Big possession.
Butler another rebound. Larry Johnson. Moses Scurry.
I thought maybe he lifted his pivot foot.
They got a foul underneath, and it's going against the Rebels.
LSU really making it tough for itself down the stretch. Chris Jackson really trying to be a leader on the floor, running up the players, doing some communicating, talking.
Butler just fouled out.
Butler really active on the inside. Remember, they're playing without Stacey Ortman, suspended for 1 game. They're not paying some incidentals.
They got 2 more games in which they got to suspend 2 players too.
We want to point out to the people what happened. A number of UNLV players in an audit done by the university for the NCAA, they found that some of the players didn't pay phone bills or didn't pay for some incidental purchases and snacks. They paid them later, but did not pay at the time they departed from the hotel, and the NCAA has issued a 1-game suspension. I feel, as I said earlier, the penalty is too severe. It gets paid to kill.
LSU again missing free throws in clutch time, 101-95. Inside, Anthony gets it up and in.
Great move by Anthony. There's the quick timeout. Remember, we're looking at a 4-point game, and we're looking again at the free throw line. Could this be deja vu again of the Georgia game, where they blew a big lead late? That's a nice move. Hang time. Greg Anthony, the entrepreneur. He's an outstanding young businessman. Worked in Washington, D.C. Very bright. Beautiful move. His poetry in motion. Hanging in the air. He's twisting. He's turning. He's hanging. He flips it up with the left hand and he converts it. He is left-handed. Well, Keith Jackson, nothing like shooting free throws. If you make free throws, you make life easy for your coach.
This is the 5th game between these 2 teams. Each time the home team has won. And based on what we see in front of us on those numbers, the likelihood is the home team's going to win again.
Last year it was a classic finish. Ricky Blanton hit one at the buzzer, an unbelievable jump shot to spark LSU to that big win. Blanton now with the Phoenix Suns.
I think that's the kind of guy that Dale needs to find, too, is a Ricky Blanton kind of guy who will just take the whole team to the stack and swivel and shake it once in a while.
Well, you're not going to find the Blantons that easily. But again, right now, the strategy gets down. You can talk all you want in a timeout about what to do with the ball. It's going to get down to making free throws. If you make your free throws, you go home with the victory easily. If you don't, you give life to Vegas and give them an opportunity with their great athletes to get a chance to win the basketball game. Hey, a win here by Vegas today, if they can pull this out, they can really rise in the polls with the Georgetowns getting beat, Louisville getting beat by the ball.
Well, they came in 5th. They could go as high as 3 if they should win. Right now, they trail. And there's a bad pass. Turnover.
Out of control.
Again to Larry Johnson.
They got to get a timeout. They got to get a timeout and set up an offensive set.
They don't have any more timeouts.
Oh, they're out of
Las Vegas is out of timeout.
No, not Vegas. I mean LSU. LSU has 1 left.
One left.
Yeah, LSU has 1 left. Yeah, Vegas, you're right, Keith, does not have any more, but LSU has one.
45 seconds.
Dale Brown's team is really having a disaster at the end of the game.
Well, those free throws, again, go back to it. They've been up there 3 times now, and 3 successive times they've failed to convert a one-and-one.
And I hate to keep mentioning it, but it happened against Georgia. 10 consecutive one-on-ones.
And it's Duvall up here now. He missed the last time he was up there.
And you know he's got to feel some pressure right now, a little tightness.
1+1.
He's normally a good shooter, too.
Oh, that's big. And does he take a deep breath?
He's from out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He went to Garden City West out in Kansas City, junior college. I believe it's in Kansas. I don't know exactly the city, Keith, but I do know that Keith Smart played there as well. We have an outstanding coach in Jim Carey, who coached Smart, who went on to Indiana fame.
Dave Burnson, our statistician.
Big one.
Thank you, David.
Big free throw here.
Made them both.
Gives them a 4-point lead. Now if you're Vegas, you got to get that quick score. It doesn't necessarily have to be a 3.
Oh, Anthony lost the ball and a whistle and a foul.
Andy Duvall hits the 2 big ones. Jerry's club showed a lot of guts trying to get back. He makes these 2, it's history.
Well, if he makes 1, it may be.
Doesn't make any, it still could be.
Right. Only 20 seconds.
It's a 4-point lead, very tough, unless they do something totally silly. Look at Chris Jackson waving a 1 to the crowd. CJ! His first half performance is one of the great performances I've seen for a half, Jackson. There's Williamson. He's learning. There's Clark chewing a towel. Shoot that baby, Jerry. Come on out. Like a candy bar.
104-99.
The Deaf Dome is starting to rock. Look at Williamson, 25 points today, shooting 9 for 18. His dad, Big John's got to be happy. Former player with the Nets.
Vice, no. Rebound, Hunt. He hits it. Both of them have 100 now. 105, 102, 6 seconds.
He's automatic. Well, I'll tell you what. Stranger things can happen, Keith. If he misses these, they have a shot. But I'll tell you what. Don't bank on this 90% shooter missing them, and he knows it. If Clark knows it.
Anthony fouls out on that play.
Jerry, when they get their entire team, look at this guy talking to us here, Maurice Williamson. Look at him. He's yelling, we're number 1. Look at Maurice.
Not yet.
Not yet. I'll tell you one thing, though. Both these clubs to be heard from big time at postseason time. If Jerry can get his team for a long run after this latest episode and get his team together, I believe they got the potential to win it. I really do, Keith. But it's been a struggle all year long because they haven't had their team out of the gate all year. He's automatic. He's automatic. Dale waving everybody. Look at Dale. Look at Dale. Look at Dale. Waving everybody away at traffic cop. No fouls. Look at Officer Brown. No fouls. Dale, relax.
In your pocket.
It's over, Dale. Relax. Get in the car and head to New Orleans and watch the Super Bowl, Dale. It's history.
Hunt hits one at the buzzer.
What a great game. What a great game.
By Anderson Hunt to make it LSU 107, University of Nevada, Las Vegas 105.
You think they can top this? Elway and Montana, they're in the locker room right now. They're getting nervous. They're probably watching us in the locker room. I'll tell you one thing. This has been one exciting college basketball game. And there's a look at the winner, Dale Brown.
UNLV goes to 14-4. LSU goes to 14-4. And that'll do it. A 2-point win for LSU, 107-105. Keith Jackson, Dick Vitale, Cheryl Miller. We hope you enjoyed ABC's college basketball.